priesthood is such a wonderful life to live. I could imagine a happier life. And then here is my little chapel.
In his residence in Charlotte, Bishop Emeritus William G. Curlin shows off the mementos and keepsakes of his 60 years of priestly ministry.
Mother made this for her first follower. Sister Agnes is deceased now.
Now, what is that?
That's the thing you put around the neck, you know, to wear.
Bishop stays busy with visits and lots of phone calls.
I'm hanging in here, hon. Keep in touch now. Love you, dear. Take care.
He has heartwarming stories of the great leaders of the Catholic faith, St. Teresa of Calcutta, a personal friend, and St. John Paul II.
I had lunch with him 3 times and met with him 3 or 4 times. Just one-to-one, and he was just wonderfully kind.
Images of bishops,
lovely.
cardinals, and family members adorn his walls. And then there is this picture of himself, the portrait of a newly ordained priest.
My family were in Alaska, and they flew home for the ordination. And I remember at the end of the Mass, going to bless my family, when kneeling at the altar rail, and how my mother and dad were just weeping with joy. But I remember also the next day, a dear priest friend preached my first Mass. And in the Mass, he said, there's your parents, your grandparents, aunts, uncles. But as time goes by, they will fade away to God. And he said, but if you love people and love them and serve them faithfully and ask nothing except to love and serve them, they will be your family. Although I have no immediate living family, they're all deceased, I buried them all, but yet I don't feel that loneliness because you're surrounded by people who love you and who care about you. And the pastor was our senior bishop, and I remember him saying to me after I had been with him just 3 days, he sat me down and said, I'll give you some wise advice, young man. He said, never ask anything of the people, just love them and give to them. Give everything you have freely to them and love the people and be very kind and very compassionate. He said, the Father to heaven, if you don't love them, they will sense that and they'll wave across the street to say good morning to you. So I would take what they call night duty, emergency duty. And I remember the police called and said, there's a man going to kill himself. I said, what? You know, you're not prepared for that in the seminary. And so the police had me rushed down to Pennsylvania Avenue. And I climbed up to the top floor on the roof where a young man was going to jump. And I was there for over 2 hours with him talking. And finally, I don't know why I said it, I just said to him, well, I guess you'll have to jump now, but I'm not going down and take care of you because you'll be spread all over the place. And he looked at me, he said, what? And I never thought of that. I said, well, think about that. And so finally, I took his hand and walked him off the roof. Of course, I was very blessed to be with Mother Teresa of Calcutta over the years. And I remember her saying that when you look at people, don't just look with your eyes and there are people there. Look with your heart. You'll see a leper, you'll see a poor person, you'll see a lonely person. If you look with your heart, you'll see what Jesus sees. And so I tried my best and look back as the bishop of trying to help poor people. And poverty is not just, physical poverty. Poverty can be spiritual poverty, which is even worse. To feel emptiness inside of yourself. Nobody cares whether you live or die. But I find a lot of people, their poverty is, they don't know how to relate to God. They feel as if nobody cares about them, that God has abandoned them. The priesthood is taking the life of Jesus and making it alive, continue. Whether you're feeding at the altar, his body and blood, whether you're feeding a person at the table, whether you're feeding a person of encouragement, when you're trying to win people back to his awesome love. To me, that's what it's all about, the priesthood. It's your task and your privilege, really not a task, it's a privilege, to take the love of Jesus and make it come alive in somebody else's life. People can bear anything as long as they feel that someone loves them and that God loves them. The priesthood is such a wonderful life to live. I could imagine a happier life. I thank our dear Lord that for 60 years, he's allowed me, worthy as I know I am, and imperfect, and I'm sure I made many mistakes, but he's allowed me to bring his love to other people. in so many, many wonderful ways. That's what I'm celebrating in my heart, is that he allowed me to share his heart with others.